Welcome to the introduction to Advent of Cyber 3 2021 and the walkthrough of Days 1 event. The link is tryhackme.com/room/advent of cyber 3. First of all, if we get an introduction, there are lots of prizes. Right now, the total prize pool worth is $19,121. Okay. So other than that, if you don't win anything from the prizes or certificate, you get a sam beautiful certificate for completion of this event. This event happens in Try Hack Me every year at the Christmas time for 25 days. We will have the walkthrough of day 1 Save the Gift, which is a web exploitation based event today. Let's complete the boxes. The first one is read the web, check out the sponsors, done. Our socials. Here we are to follow them on their various social media platform, done. Let's just click through them. All right. So the next part is subscribing. They are just telling us to subscribe to their platform. I did, and it's very much worth it. They have lots of amazing content. You can say that 80% of the contents are free here and 20% of them are paid, but it is still worth it to pay for the Try Hack Me account. Let's finish this. Now these are some rules that basically it's not do not cheat, do not target or attack other users that are playing the game, and all the basic things, and do not brute force the answer box. Do as the description tells you to do. Here is this a funny Christmas story. It happens every year. Now you can read through this comic about this story. It's nothing. Basically, it just mentions a name of Mix Kitty and all that. Just skip this by completing it. Now let's go to day 1 Save the Gifts. It's a web exploitation task. This task is totally based on IDOR vulnerability. So let's discuss what IDOR is. So IDOR stands for Insecure Direct Object Reference Vulnerability. I got a beautiful picture from Google. So this here is an example of web server that has not been secured from IDOR vulnerability, and here is a web server that has been secured from IDOR vulnerability. So if there is an IDOR vulnerability in your web server, any user, if has an access to one record, can access the other records, or maybe even if he doesn't have access to, shouldn't have access to any of these records, he still can access these records. And in case of secure web, say user 1 can access record 1, user 2 can access record 2, and user 3 can access record 3. So user 1 cannot access these two records. If you try to access them, it will just tell you access denied or error. Now how does this vulnerability work? I'm just gonna give you some of the examples. So this is the most basic example. So first of the example is direct reference to database objects. Say this is a website, insecurewebsite.com customer account. This is just a example of a website where it tells you customer number is equal to this. So this is an special ID which gives you a specific page for the specific customer that you are intended to access. But say if you change this to 1323554, it might give you information about the other customer. It shouldn't, but it might. And if it does, this is called IDOR vulnerability. There are other examples like this one is basically ID based. This one is directly reference to any static file. Say this website has an available file called 12144.txt. It is very possible if you change the name of this file, you might be able to access those files as well, which might contain information that is sensitive to the target web server. There is another vulnerability which is found in request via post or get. For this you basically have to use zap or OWASP zap or burp suite or inspect or developer mode in the in any browser, where you will see that they are trying to get an ID of 12, and then you get a page with an information of ID 12, you can now change this ID to another ID and then request with get. So you might get information of other client, and if you get the information, that means the web server is not protected for IDOR vulnerability. Sometimes there are ID and name, you have to just guess them. You can brute force this attack by making a script or using burp suite intruder to get some information. Let's begin to the day one walkthrough. Let's go to the website. Done. All right, now we get this website. So when you go down, you will have these questions you have to find. First of all, this website doesn't have any IDs or any information that you can edit. So we try to click on the links which could get us somewhere. So we see that these four tabs are actually different links. If we click on build, we get this build option. Inventory, we get this option. Your activity, voila. In your activity, we get a user ID of 11. So let's try changing that to 1. We might get an information about another user, and we do. The username is Santa and his position is boss. And here is the first question. After finding Santa's account, what is their position in the company? And their position is the boss. Just paste it and submit. You will have the answer. So I think we used up all the information that we could have gathered from employee ID 1. Let's try to access employee ID 2. No user found. Let's try 3. And we get a new account named Maxtor. And the second question is, after finding Maxtalker account, what is their position in the company? And his position is build manager. Just copy it and paste it. You get the answer. Now there is finding the account responsible for tampering. What is their position in the company? So we don't see any activities regarding this member ID, this user. So he's not responsible for that, and we didn't see it for Santa as well. So let's try after employee ID 3. 4, nothing found. 5, nothing found. 6, nothing found. 7, nothing found. 8, nothing found. 9, we found something. Employee ID 9, name is Grinch and his position is mischief manager. And we enter it, we get the ID. And we also see that he has made various changes which should not have been made. Here is the question: what is the received flag when Muxkidi fixes the inventory management system? So basically, if we revert all this action, we have literally an option to revert all the actions that he made. So let's click on that. If we revert all the action, we might get flag, and we do. This is our flag, and here we input it, we get the answer. Now we have also an option question where it mentions a room for especially IDOR, which teaches us a lot about IDOR, which to go through which you need a subscription to try hack me. It is not a free room, and if you do take subscription, I would suggest you to go through this room because it's worth it. I have tried. You can just click completed because it isn't asking for any answer, and then it's just wishing us luck to get back for days 2 task completed. So now we have completed the days 1 task, and I will be back for day 2 task.